Today is day 11, so it's phase 3. I wanted to start phase 3 at a time where we had a couple of days leading up to ovulation so that we can kind of stay ahead of the big estrogen surge that is coming. For most people, ovulation occurs around an average of day 14. The follicular phase, day 1 of your period until ovulation, varies, but there's less variation between ovulation day and the end of the cycle till the next period. That's about 14 days, again with very little variation. If your cycle lasts 28 days, you ovulate on day 14. If it lasts 21 days, you're ovulating on day 7. If it lasts 35 days, you're ovulating on day 21. So here I am, day 11. We've got 2 key ingredients here, Vitex chased berry and milk thistle. And like always, our wonderful artist Meg Lionel Murphy has illustrated these 2 beautiful plants with our phase 3 character here. You see the purple plants from the chased berry tree, and these pink flowers are from the milk thistle bush. Day 12. One of the things that I love about our packaging is that you have a visual of where you are on the month. So day 12, and really anywhere at this bottom row of the first section, we're kind of coming up to the midpoint, which is ovulation. So that's the most fertile time, the day of ovulation, which is 14 days before you expect your next period, and then the 3 or 4 days ahead of that. So for people who are either trying to get pregnant or trying not to get pregnant, it's very important to be aware of when you are most fertile, right there. So day 12 for me, and today is day 13, which is phase 3, getting closer to ovulation for most people. So the estrogen levels start to increase ahead of ovulation, and some people have symptoms of breast tenderness, change in mood or sleep. Other people just feel good, be more energetic, they feel more extroverted. And I'm gonna take my dose 3. Phase 3, day 3. Today is day 14, which is a common ovulation day for people who are on a 28-day cycle. And day 14 has the highest testosterone level of the month, so you might experience that as a lift in energy and libido. Testosterone also helps us gain more muscle mass from exercise, and the endorphins are higher with the estrogen surge of the ovulation. It's a really great day to have a good workout. So day 15, we're halfway through the pack. There's a fun word for one of the symptoms people might experience around ovulation, and that's Mittelschmerz. It's German for middle pain, and it's the sensation of the follicle bursting and releasing an egg from the ovary. Some people are so attuned that they can actually tell me which ovary they're ovulating from. I can't, but it's a thing. So Mittelschmerz, middle pain, ovulatory pain, and we are getting halfway through the cycle. Day 16, phase 3, the ovulation phase. So one of the other symptoms that some people like to track during their ovulation phase is their basal body temperature. So that is your temperature first thing in the morning before you wake up and start moving. And most people will have an average temperature just before ovulation between 97 and 97.5 or 6 degrees Fahrenheit. And a symptom that you've ovulated is that for about 24, 48 hours afterward, your temperature might increase by 1/2 to 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit. So a lot of people do like to track that, especially people who are trying to conceive, and occasionally people who are using rhythm method and other things to make sure they don't get pregnant. But today, day 16, I'm on the second half of this pack. Today is day 17. So for most people, ovulation has already occurred by day 17, and they might notice a change in their discharge or cervical mucus. It tends to be drier through the rest of the cycle after ovulation. When the cycle starts again after menstruation, it can be kind of like a watery, thin discharge, and then it'll thicken and get to more of like an egg white consistency around ovulation, and then dry up again until the next cycle, start all over again. Day 18 for me. and I wanted to say a little bit more about Vitex Chaste Berry Extract, which is, I love all the ingredients, but this might be my favorite. Vitex has been used in traditional medicine for a long time for hormone balance. And the reason it works so well for PMS is that it balances the estrogen with the progesterone levels. And that really helps with estrogen-related symptoms, including mood lability, breast tenderness, and bloating. It also binds to the opiate receptors, which helps increase dopamine activity. So it's really a great supplement for this early luteal phase around ovulation and right until the progesterone levels will naturally increase about a week before one's period. Today is day 19, phase 3. I wanted to talk more about milk thistle. Now, milk thistle has nothing to do with dairy. It is a plant. Don't worry, I'm long-term vegan and Lunar Sync is vegan. So milk thistle is actually an herb. It's also called Silybum marianum. And it grows these fuchsia flowers. So it's pictured here in our phase 3 character, that fuchsia-like flower. And the seed is used for its medicinal properties. Specifically, it's really helpful for liver support. And the liver is responsible for metabolizing excess toxins and things like excess hormones from our body. The reason we want to support the liver during ovulation and early luteal phase is that we have this huge influx of hormones, specifically estrogen in ovulation in the beginning of the luteal phase, and then progesterone will join us more for phase 4. But the excess in this huge roller coaster change of estrogen is what is behind a lot of premenstrual symptoms, especially the ones that come about more mid-cycle and early luteal phase. These are things like bloating, mood swings, and breast pain or breast tenderness. So with that, I will enjoy my day 19, phase 3 Lunar Sync. Day 20. This is the last day of phase 3 in Lunar Sync. And so that signifies the end of the ovulatory and early luteal phase. And this part of the cycle is characterized by a decrease in that big surge of estrogen that happened during ovulation. And then we'll start to see the next big hormone surge, and that's going to be dominated by progesterone. So the follicle in the ovary that released the egg for ovulation, now the follicle starts to close up and dry up, and it's called the corpus luteum. And that is the source of progesterone as we get toward the middle of the luteal phase. And there's all kinds of premenstrual symptoms that can happen. We'll learn more about them in phase 4. But what I find is that when we bring our awareness to that this is a predictable and short-term change in our hormones, it just allows me to bring more grace to it. If you're feeling not your usual self in terms of your productivity, in terms of your mood, there's a very good explanation for that, and it's also a very temporary phenomenon.